This is the sketchbook that I use, and with watercolour pencils you always go light to dark, and with time you just get more confident. Hello creative souls, and welcome to this week's video where I thought I would talk to you about watercolour pencils. Now, I'm quite new to these myself. I only had a small pack of Faber-Castell watercolour pencils, which tend to have good reviews. Apparently they're easy to blend, nice vibrant colours. But after watching a video on YouTube, I noticed an artist recommending the Karat Aquarell. These are by STAEDTLER, tin of 24, lots of lovely vibrant colours, and in here is a little swatch leaflet. So today I thought I would share with you my findings. So it's not a tutorial, it's more of a demonstration. Audrey and I have been out today and I have collected some autumnal leaves. I found this one, and although it looks like an oak leaf to me, it's not native, as in it's not an English oak. So I came home and a friend bought me this book for Christmas, a little tree reference book. So I looked it up and it looks like it could be a scarlet oak, which I thought was quite interesting, which is native to North America. And it says it contributes greatly to the autumn leaf colour spectacular, which it certainly did. The leaves were all over the field this morning. And then I looked up the English oak here. And so today with my watercolour pencils, I thought I would demonstrate colouring in an oak leaf. So the things that you will need is, with watercolour pencils, it's easier, or better should I say, to apply them onto hot press paper. Now, if I was doing a serious piece, I would use the Artistico paper, which is 100% cotton. And as you can see, there's, well, you might not be able to see actually, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there's no tooth on that paper. It's nice and smooth. And this particular one comes in a block, so it can take the water and it doesn't buckle. So that's the paper I would use if I was doing a serious piece with the watercolour pencils, the Fabrino Artistico. But for today's demonstration, I'm going to be using the Ranger sketchbook. This is the sketchbook that I use to swatch my dough and Inktense pencils, and I also took this one into the woods, and this one I sat on top of a hill in Cornwall, both of which have got videos, so you can go back and look through the catalogue. But today I'm going to be using this paper because, like the Artistico, it's smooth, it's got no tooth. But I don't think this will be able to take much water, but we'll see how we get on. And here's my leaf for reference. It won't be exactly the same. It's not going to be analytically correct or botanically correct, but it just gives me an idea of the shape that I can draw for the oak leaf. So the other items I should mention is you will need a paintbrush. This is a size 6 and I think this one is a size 3. I use them all the time. It's a Betty Hayways paintbrush, to the point where Betty Hayways is actually rubbed off, but they're pretty cool. So some pointy round brushes, and you'll need some clean water to activate the watercolour pencils. But first of all, I'm just going to choose the autumnal leaf colours, and I will swatch those out for you and show you how to apply the water. And also, when you do your swatches or when you do your artwork, you should always apply your water onto the lightest parts first. So I think I'm going to go, there's two yellows, but I think I'm going to go with the lighter yellow, I think. And I'm going to go with brown and these two browny tones as well. And then I think I might choose a green. Although that green's quite nice as well. Maybe I will swatch both of those. Right, so I'm just going to swatch the colours across the top here, and I'll talk you through that as I go. So grab a cup of tea. I don't know if you've noticed, but this says Creative Soul. This is my own design that you can find on my tea mill store. And my tea's going pretty cold, so I'm going to swig that back and do some swatching. So I'm just going to apply some colour, and I'm going to do it quite thickly, and then I'm going to apply it more softly and lighter as I come out of the swatch, like so. And then I'm going to get my small size 3 brush, wet the brush with nice clean water, and with watercolour pencils you always go light to dark. And the reason why you go light to dark is because if you were to go dark to light, you actually bring the pigment across into the lighter parts, which you don't necessarily want. There we go. And I'm going to just do this green. Oh, this is like a spring green. I'm not sure what green this is because they've all got numbers on the side. The pencils have got numbers on the side. So I should look those numbers up on the swatch leaflet in a minute, and I will write underneath what the colours are. It's almost like a pea green. So clean water on my brush, from light to dark. And with these watercolour pencils, the beauty of this is you let them dry and then you can go in with another layer over the top. Right, I'm going to carry on swatching these and I will speed you up for that one. Right, so while I'm waiting for those to dry, I thought what I would do is see how well they blend. And I was going to start at one end with a red and then start at the other end with a yellow and just see if I can blend them together to make an orange in the middle. So the only way I'm going to learn is by playing. So I'm going to do a swatch of red and then I'm going to take it lighter and then at the other end I'm going to do a swatch of yellow. This is a different yellow to that one up here. This seems to be a brighter yellow, could be a cadmium yellow. And then I'm going to bring that all the way down here for an overlap and see what happens. Take the red up here a bit more. So, clean water. I'm going to start at the yellow end, the lighter tone end, and I'm going to go down, blend over the top, see if I can get an orange, and then take it all the way to that vibrant red. Yeah, looks like it's blended quite well. My swatches are now dry and I've written underneath the colours that I've checked on the chart. This one is quite funny though, because this is just called red, but in German it says the name for red underneath, which looks like it's rot, R-O-T. I misread that and thought it said red hot, so I've renamed it red hot, and this was just a yellow. So I've written the colours underneath so I know what they are, and now I'm going to draw this leaf, and I'm going to do it with the actual watercolour pencil. It's going to be rough, it's not going to be too big either, so start with the stem, and oak leaves are fairly easy to draw. There's just lots of wiggly lines really, and it comes in like that at the bottom. There we go. I think that looks like an oak leaf. Yeah, that's not bad. It's a bit bigger than that one, but they're all different sizes, I guess. I'm not necessarily going to do the exact same colours, so I'm going to start with a base of golden ochre, this one's called. Fairly light. You don't want it too liney because you want the colour to blend. So the way not to get lines is just to apply light pressure. And I don't know if you can see, but I'm sort of doing a circular motion. I'll leave a gap there because I'm going to put some green in there, I think. And a bit like watercolour, I'm going to do this in layers. So I'm going to do the base layer first, or should I say the lighter colours first. And then I shall go over with some darker colours. So I'm going to go in now with some yellow, I think, just around the edges. This is almost, I don't know if the camera's picking up, but it almost looks like it's got green in it. That should blend nicely with the yellow ochre. I'm trying to go as lightly as possible for my first layer. And I guess with some practice and with time, you just get more confident and you get to know the medium. And then I'm going to go in with some very light green, I think. I don't want to overpower the first layer. Shall I do, I think I'm going to do a little bit of green up here. Along the stem. And I'm going to take it up to here. I'm going to apply some darker brown on here later. Okay, so that's the first layer of pencil down. Now I'm just going to, I think I'm going to try my size 6 brush. So I'm just putting some clean water onto the brush. And I'm not going to oversaturate it. And I'm just going to sort of tease around the edges. I don't know if you can hear that helicopter outside. You never know with watercolour pencils, you don't really know how it's going to turn out. Or at least I don't think so anyway. I guess with more practice and depending on what kind of subject you're painting, because I'm not going for accuracy here. Just sort of blending in the colour, cleaning off my brush every now and again because I don't really want to muddy the colours too much. There we go. Don't know how I feel about the line on the outside. I was hoping that might blend in a bit more, but maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens when this dries and we go over with a darker colour. So that's the initial colour down, and now I have to be patient and let it dry. Right, that's the first layer dry. Now I'm going to go in with some darker colours. And again, I don't know how this is going to turn out, so I'm just going to be brave. Just apply some colour. Just try and relax and breathe and enjoy the process. This paper won't take too many layers. But it's okay just to have a bit of a practice. So that's some green. I think I'm going to go with a brighter yellow actually for this, so because the other yellow was a little bit subtle, so a bit brighter. And up here, and over this side, and then after applying the yellow and the green, I'm going to put a little bit of ochre on, and then the last bit will be the darker brown for more detail, I think. Seems to be some quite dark brown sort of on the edges of the leaves, and you can see here that there's like almost like spots, like decay starting to form where the leaf is breaking down. Right, so I'm going to apply some water. I'm going to go with a smaller brush this time, so I feel more in control, because this is less of a wash. This is, so I want to try and keep the colour in place. You can sort of dot your brush around a bit to try and give it the texture and blend into the other colours so it doesn't look so solid. At the same time, I'm sort of trying to disguise the pencil line around the edge. So, dibbling your brush around. Sorry if the camera's bouncing up and down a bit as well. It's really hard trying to see what I'm doing because I'm sort of angled around the camera, but try not to block out the light or put my hand in your way so you can't see what I'm actually doing. Don't know if you can hear the wind outside, but it's a typical autumnal day today. I took Audrey out for her walk this morning. It was pretty misty and drizzly and dank, and quite sort of an eerie feeling to the morning, which is perfect for this time of year. Right, there we go. That's the second layer done. I think now again have to wait for that to dry, and then we'll go in with some dark browns and some more detail. Right, I used my heat tool to dry that. I'm not sure how much more this paper is going to be able to take. It's going a bit crinkly. So I'm going to go in now with the burnt sienna, and this is quite a strong colour, so I'm going to err on the side of caution. I'm going to put the burnt sienna in, and then I'm going to go and put some darker Van Dyke brown in. And of course, watercolour pencils, you don't always have to apply water. You can just do dry pencil as well with watercolour pencil. So I'm hoping this colour will make it look a bit more solid, a bit more leaf-like. Okay, so that's the burnt sienna, and then I'm going to put the stem up here all the way to the top. Let's put some blemish here. And there's a spot up there. Again, I'm not going for realism. A little bit of blemish here. On the edge. I'm just going to take it into the curves of the leaf here. Do some up here. There's actually a little split there, but I don't really want to get into that sort of detail. Maybe this will sort of disguise the original pencil lines around the edge. A little bit here. And then I'm going to go in with a bit more green. Just to make it a bit more solid. And a bit on this side. Okay, I don't like this edge. Because you're going to see the original pencil lines. So, right, I'm going to put some water on now. And I'm just going to go in cautiously. And again, this is where I'm going to be dibbling my brush. Sort of making it wet, but not saturating it. Right, I'm going to keep going, but I'm going to speed you up for this bit. Right, this is the final stage. I'm not going to continue to layer this up because of the type of paper I'm using. If I was on the Fabriano, what's it called, Artistico, then I could probably keep going because it can handle it, but this can't. So now I'm at the stage where I'm just going to put some dry pencil in, and I'm not going to wet this again. I'm just literally going to scribble on some extra detail. I'm not going to go over the top because this is just a sort of a quick demonstration of how to use them. But I mean, you could literally spend hours getting the detail on. There is another technique that you could use. It's not recommended that you dip your nib, your watercolour nib, directly into the water. You can do if that's, you know, if that's your thing, but I wouldn't recommend that you do, because all it does is make the the watercolour all smushy on the end, and doesn't normally fare well, doesn't give you the detail that you're actually after. But what you could do is get a clean wet brush and just take the colour off directly with the tip of your brush, and then you can put the paint directly on. Gives you quite sort of deep pigment. But it's knowing when to stop, because I love adding the detail. I think you can sit here and it's almost like meditation to sit here and quietly add the detail. But if I did that, it would make for a very long and boring video. I'd really appreciate it if you could share this video with friends and family, people that you might think will like this video. Leave me a comment and let me know whether you use watercolour pencils and if there is a brand that you would recommend. And if you've ever used these ones, the Karat Aquarell. They're a really nice brand. I would certainly recommend them. There we go. I'm going to stop there. It's really hard. It's really hard. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to put on some little lines and show you the finished piece in just a second. So there we have it, one finished oak leaf using watercolour pencils. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.